OC. Viewer discretion is advised. Incoming transmission in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to this week's Friday Night Smackdown review. You are here with Just G. This week I am here to give you the lowdown on everything that happened in Smackdown. It was a pretty good episode. I really enjoyed everything that happened. But yeah, let's get straight on into it. So this week on Smackdown we are opened with our Money in the Bank winner, Tiffany Stratton. I really don't like whatever my hair is doing here now. Yeah, we are greeted by our Money in the Bank winner, Tiffany Stratton. She makes her way down to the ring. She starts by saying how she knew that she would get to the top of the ladder, she would win Money in the Bank, and how she is the youngest women's Money in the Bank winner in WWE history, which is pretty cool. It's a great achievement to have on your back. She calls out Trish Stratus and she's like, she's not here to ruin my time this time, like she was at Money in the Bank when she was hosting Money in the Bank. And then she calls out Liv, Bayley and Roxanne Perez, all of our women's champions, saying to watch their title reigns because they are on Tiffy time, meaning that to watch their backs because she doesn't know which one she's going to cash in on. Then we are greeted with Bayley. Her entrance music hits and she makes her way down. As she is making her way down to the ring, she congratulates Tiffany Stratton on her win on Money in the Bank. And then Tiffany's like, what are you doing here, Bayley? We don't need you, basically. You of all people should know about Tiffy time. You know, you shouldn't be here. Bayley's like, I don't care. I'm here to give you advice as a former Money in the Bank briefcase holder. And then Tiffany gives her a bit of mouth and she's like, if you try to cash in on me, you will be the first woman to fail a Money in the Bank cash in, because the women's Money in the Bank briefcases have all cashed in successfully. They are 100% cash rate at this point. So we have never had a failed women's Money in the Bank cash in. So could Tiffany Stratton also be the first to fail a Money in the Bank cash in? We will find out in the future, I guess. Then we are greeted by Nia Jax. She makes her way down. She targets Bayley with her promo to begin with. She's like, Bayley, why are you making empty threats that you know you will not be able to keep? She said, don't forget, 3 weeks in SummerSlam, I have a title match with you, guaranteed. And then she goes on to give her a bit more mouth. Then Bayley stands up for herself. She's like, this isn't the hugger Bayley. This isn't the 2017 Bayley that you took out. This is the women's champion Bayley, and I'm going to embarrass you, Nia, at 3 weeks' time at SummerSlam when I retain and win. And then Bayley turns to Tiff and she's like, you know, if some miracle happens and I do lose and Nia is the new champion, are you going to cash in on Nia? Because, yeah. She doesn't know. And then Nia's like, I don't have a problem with Tiffany, but Bayley, I see you as a victim and I'm going to victimise you at SummerSlam when I take that championship from you. And then both Nia and Tiffany start going in on Bayley, punches, throwing her down. We are then greeted with Minchin. She comes out to Bayley's rescue. And we then end up with a match between Nia Jax and Meechin. So going on into that match, to begin with, we've got Meechin punching Nia, but Nia then throws Meechin. Meechin gets back up and she goes for more punches to Nia, but Nia throws her again. So there's a bit of back and forth between the two of them. There's no sort of control from anyone to begin with. We then get Nia in control, giving Meechin no chance to counter. She's throwing her about. Bear in mind the size difference between these two women. Nia's quite a powerhouse, she's built up. Meechin is quite small and technical. They're two completely different styles, so they work on two completely different wrestling styles. But anyway, she doesn't give Meechin like any chance to counter. She has got her in a headlock when Meechin eventually breaks out of that headlock. But she is still throwing Meechin around. Nia is just not giving her a chance to get up and do anything. So then we have out of ring, Nia catches Meechin on her shoulders as she jumps off the apron. She throws her down face first onto the apron. And she looks like she's in a lot of pain then. Like, if you've just been hit face first off the apron, I think you'd be in a lot of pain, wouldn't you? Anyway, back up in the ring, we've got Meechin going for multiple punches to Nia, more and more and more. And then, sorry guys, I'm just reading my notes. Sometimes it's really difficult when you forget what's happened because so much goes on, and then you have to read your notes to see what happens. But anyway, we have Nia into a cannonball, and then she goes for cover, but Nia kicks. So Michin's on the top rope. Nia pulls her down off that rope, and you see Tiffany Stratton quickly throw the kendo stick one. So when Michin came out to save Bayley earlier on, she come out with the kendo stick, so that was obviously thrown on the floor. Tiff picks that kendo stick up, pops it on the side of the ring, runs round the other side of the ring, jumps up on the apron to distract the ref so that Nia can grab that kendo stick. She does indeed grab it, but then while Tiff is distracting the referee, Bayley actually comes round, grabs Tiffany Stratton and starts going in on her on the floor. She's like, nope, you are not taking this chance away from Michin. But then we have Michin hits a tornado DDT to Nia Jax, but Nia Jax is then kicking out of a cover. As she does this, Nia catches Mia and she throws her into a Samoan drop. She then pulls her into the corner, hits her Annihilator off the ropes. 1, 2, 3. Nia Jax has won this match. I love Nia. I love Nia now. I never really liked Nia before when she was in WWE, but as I've said, was I happy when she come back at Royal Rumble? No. Has she proven herself over the time? Yes, absolutely. So I am glad, but I do feel like Michin gets like underlooked sometimes, and she is a fantastic talent, but I suppose she's just here to help out. This feud is actually between like Bayley, Tiff and Nia, so I do get it. Anyway, so yeah, she hit her Annihilator, she has won. At this point, Bayley jumps up, she's going in on Nia. Tiffany jumps up, she hits Bayley on the back of the head with the briefcase. Bayley is out, they go in. Tiffany slams Bayley to the floor. Nia goes for a leg drop to Bayley. That's it, done. Nia goes to walk off. Tiffany's looking at her briefcase and she is thinking about it because Bayley is out for the count on the floor. She hesitantly walks towards the ref and goes, she's shaking her head going, yes, but she doesn't actually say it. And she literally is about to cash in her briefcase on Bayley. And Nia comes over, puts her hand on, she's like, well, what are you doing? And then and then Tiff's like, no, actually, yeah, let's go. And she kind of pushes her and Nia off. And Nia looks really, really unhappy about this situation. So, yeah, that was the opening events to SmackDown this week. Okay, so we move on to our next match for the evening, which is a tag team match. It is Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews versus Angel and Humberto of Legado del Fantasma. So, Corbin and Crews make their way down to the ring, and then the whole of Legado del Fantasma make their way onto the ring. Before the bell has even rung, as Legado del Fantasma are at the end of the ramp, Crews is straight over the ropes onto Angel and Humberto, and then the bell rings and the match has officially started. So Crews is going straight in before the match has even started. I love to see stuff like that. It's great. So we are starting with Baron Corbin and Humberto. Corbin is in fast to take down Humberto. He's like, I'm not going to give them a chance to move. I'm going to go in. He does go for a cover, but Humberto kicks. Then Crews is tagged in, and there is a lot of back and forth between Crews and Humberto. Like, they are both going for it. Nobody is really in control. And then Corbin is tagged back in really quickly. He takes out Humberto, but Angel interferes. And then Apollo Crews jumps up in the ring. The four of them are literally going at it in the ring. 2 on 2, 2 on the other. And then Humberto and Angel end up outside of the ring, and Baron Corbin runs to one side of the ropes, goes back over, jumps over the ropes and takes them out. We are back in the ring at this point then, and we've got Corbin and Humberto. Humberto is doing punches to Corbin, one after another. Humberto hits Corbin with a kick to the head. He goes for a cover, but Baron Corbin kicks out. Corbin hits a Death Valley driver to Humberto. Both Crews and Angel are tagged in. Cruz hits a jumping clothesline to Angel, multiple German suplex here, a German suplex there, and another German suplex to Angel. He goes for a splash in the corner to Angel. Cruz top rope goes for a cross body cover, but Humberto kicks. So at this point, there was a switch. Corbin goes for Humberto out of the ring, but Santos stands in the way. He says to Baron Corbin, I'm not even in this match. What are you going to do about it? Because he stood in the way of Corbin getting to Humberto. Corbin's like, I don't give a shit. Slaps him round the face and carries on going out after Humberto around the ring. Back in the ring, Cruz has got Angel. He lifts him up, gorilla presses him to the floor. As he looks like he is about to go for a pin, we see Elektra Lopez jump on the back of the ring on the apron. She distracts the ref while Santos jumps in ring, hits a knee to the head of Apollo Crews. Angel goes for a wing clipper cover. 1, 2, 3. Legado del Fantasma take the win on this one. I mean, I'm not mad about it, but Corbin and Apollo have recently come back into action on the main roster. I understand Legado del Fantasma are a heel faction, so it's right that they win. You know, the heels, they do heel things, they cheat, they win. But I would have liked to have seen Corbin and Apollo Crews take the win on that one. But yeah, so next we go into LA Knight coming out. And he's holding a folder in his hand. We think we know what this is. So he talks about Money in the Bank and how he didn't win, how it didn't go his way, and that he's not going to cry about it, and that he's not going to make excuses for the fact that he didn't win. And he's like, Money in the Bank briefcase or not, I'm going to get what I want. And then he shows a clip of himself qualifying for the Money in the Bank match. And he's like, there's something more important than my qualification in that clip. He's like, I pinned the United States champion to get that qualification in it. And he's like, so I need to show you this. And he picks that folder up off the floor. We've seen this folder many a times in WWE history. We know exactly what's in this folder. And he's like, this is a contract for a United States Championship match at SummerSlam. So we know LA Knight is going after Logan Paul for the United States Championship bout. So this is what it is. He takes out a pen. He signs it. He's like, so this contract now has my signature. This contract now has Nick Aldis's signature. There is only one thing missing, and that is Logan Paul's signature. And surprise, surprise, as always, Logan Paul is not even here tonight, but I will get him to sign this one way or another. So he is ready to take on the United States Championship, Logan Paul at SummerSlam. And then he's like, I'll own you at SummerSlam, Logan, like I'll own that bout, and that's a fact of life. Yeah. So I'm really excited for this match. I feel like this is the time that they need to pull the trigger on LA Knight. Like, LA Knight is so over, and the fact that he has continuously lost all of his like championship opportunities, and the crowd just love LA Knight. Like, the whole yeah thing, the yeah movement, I feel like that is why he works so well, because he has something that interacts with the fans behind him, and I feel like he's ready for that belt run. But the fact that I believe SummerSlam is in Logan Paul's like hometown, right? So we know they're a fan of making superstars win in their hometown, but are they though, with Drew losing at Clash at the Castle in Scotland? So this match could go either way. We could see Logan win and be the star in his hometown, or we could see LA Knight win, but I do really think this is the time for them to pull the trigger on LA Knight. I do think he is ready for that title run. I do think he's ready for that opportunity, and the only way we will know is by giving him the title and letting him go. Yeah, but I'm here for it. I'm very, very here for it. I think the two superstars will put on a fabulous match at SummerSlam, because they always do. They are great together. But we did see later on the things that we are going to get on SmackDown next week, and Logan Paul is one of them. So we will see Logan Paul probably address this entire situation on SmackDown next week, which is cool. So we're going to move on to our next match for this evening, which was Blair Davenport versus Naomi. It's super cool to see Blair Davenport in action again since she's came up to the main roster. So we start with Naomi is countering all of Blair's moves. She's going in, she's trying to take control. Naomi's sliding under her clothesline. She's just like not even giving her a chance to do anything. And then Naomi goes for a leg drop to cover Blair, but Blair kicks. Naomi goes for a big split from top rope, but as she comes down, she hits Blair with that big leg kick and she goes for a cover, but again Blair kicks out. Blair is top rope. She goes for a stomp down onto Naomi's arm. Naomi at this point looks like she's still in a lot of pain. She has tape all around her arm from the Money in the Bank match. I'm assuming she did some damage there. So you can see Blair targeting her arm at this point and seeing that she is in a lot of pain with her arm. Out of ring now, we are out of ring. Blair picks Naomi up and throws her into the side of the ring with her, with her bad arm first. She hits her bad arm off it. Naomi is in so much pain. She is just holding her arm. She is literally in agony. You can see this. Back into the ring, there is a lot of back and forth between the two girls. One's going for one, one's going for another. Boom, boom, boom. They go for that like that for a few minutes, but Naomi does eventually gain control. She goes for a cover on Blair, but Blair kicks out. Naomi top rope. Blair counters this and goes for a big stomp to the heart, covering Naomi, but Naomi kicks. Naomi goes for an inside cradle to Blair. Blair kicks. She immediately rolls Naomi into a cover, but Naomi kicks. Naomi goes for a sunset flip, but Blair rolls that into a cover. Naomi kicks. It's like roll after roll after roll here. So after Naomi's kicked out, Blair again rolls up Naomi, who counters into a roll on Blair. So it's like one, roll, one. Blair into a cover, but Blair does manage to kick out again. Naomi hits a knee to the face, slams Blair down onto the floor. She goes for another cover. 1, 2, 3. Naomi takes the win home on this one, which is really cool. I like the fact that Naomi won. Again, both fantastic women, and either way would have been fantastic. So we then move on to our next match, which is a championship tag team match between DIY, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, and a Town Down Under, Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. I always have a way of getting their names mixed up, Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. I always call them different things, but yeah. A Town Down Under versus DIY. As we know, DIY won the tag bouts off A Town Down Under a week or so ago, so this is just A Town Down Under's rematch, because they always get a rematch clause, don't they, when they lose it. So we start with Grayson Waller and Tommaso Ciampa. Waller goes for a shot straight away on Tommaso Ciampa, but he knew and countered, which ends off with all four of them being stood in the ring having a face-off. They go in on each other, and DIY end up doing a double drop kick to Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, who then both end up outside of the ring. Waller tries to get back in, as he does from the ropes. Tommaso Ciampa knees him in the face. He then sits on the ropes and holds them open for Gargano to run the other way and back to do a suicide dive through the ropes to Austin Theory, but Austin Theory knew this was coming, and as he jumps through the ropes, he punches Gargano it's like to the head, and he falls to the ground. So then we have then got both Theory and Waller taking out DIY outside of the ring, and then we go back into the ring and we are greeted with Grayson Waller and Tommaso Ciampa. Waller goes for a corner splash to Tommaso Ciampa, but he moves out of the way and falls to the floor. Then Theory comes in and goes for a stomp to Tommaso Ciampa. We have Theory up on the second rope. He jumps to Ciampa, who counters and knees him in the face. At this point then, Johnny Gargano is tagged in. He goes for a clothesline to Austin Theory. He goes for a clothesline to Grayson Waller. He gets back up and drop kicks Austin Theory. Gargano from the ropes then goes for a spear to Austin Theory. He goes for a cover, but Austin Theory kicks out of this cover. Theory and Ciampa are going for a bit of back and forth then at this point. Back and forth, back and forth. Tommaso Ciampa goes for a roll-up on Theory. Waller comes in and breaks that roll-up. Theory then goes for a roll-up on Tommaso Ciampa, but he kicks out. Waller is tagged in, so then we have got both Waller and Theory either corners of the ring. Tommaso Ciampa in the middle. They are going for a meet in the middle, but Tommaso Ciampa knew this was coming. He moves out the way. Both Waller and Grayson, Waller and Grayson. Waller and Theory collide and end up kicking each other. Ciampa rolls Waller and he kicks out. Waller jumps to Ciampa, so he goes for a jump move to Ciampa, but Ciampa again knew this was coming. He moves out the way and Waller ends up colliding and hitting Theory instead. At this point then, Johnny Gargano is tagged in. So Theory's rolled out of the ring from the reaction of being hit from Waller. Gargano's tagged in. Then we have DIY go for a shatter machine to Grayson Waller. They then go for a meet in the middle to Grayson Waller. Johnny Gargano covers Grayson Waller. 1, 2, 3. DIY are still our tag champions. There's so much to talk about. You just get choked up when you're trying to talk about all the moves. But yeah, it was a fabulous match between the four of them, and I hope we have more matches between the four of them again in the future, because I really, really, really enjoyed this match. They are four fantastic men that put on for a fantastic performance every single time. However, out of nowhere, Jacob Fatu appears. Why Jacob Fatu? He takes out Waller. He takes out Theory. He takes out Johnny Gargano. He takes out Tommaso Ciampa. And then he don't stop there. He keeps going in on Gargano and Ciampa. He doesn't want to stop. He's just like, nah, I'm just going to take out the tag champs, you know. Boom, Solo's music hits. Solo and Tama Tonga and Tamaloa, they come out and make their way down to the ring. So, at this point, the tag champs and Gargano and Theory have disappeared. We have got the Bloodline stood in the ring. Solo asks the crowd to acknowledge him, and the crowd start booing. They're going mad. We want Roman chants start. And then Solo goes, let me just give you a reminder of what happens to the people that don't acknowledge me. The crowd are still chanting for Roman at this point, and he's like, you don't deserve Roman. And then he's like, Jimmy, my little brother Jimmy, he didn't acknowledge me and he's gone. Paul Heyman, he didn't acknowledge me and he's gone. Roman, don't cheer for him now. You don't deserve him. When he comes back, he will acknowledge me as the tribal chief. And then he goes, but we aren't on about Roman tonight. Tonight is about Cody. It's his turn to acknowledge me. And he's like, and then he goes to say, come on out, but before he even has chance to offer Cody out, Cody's music hits and he is making his way down to the ring. We get in the ring, we've got the Bloodline stood one side, Cody facing. It is a 4 against 1. How unfair is that? But we are familiar to these situations within WWE. Cody's like, I've heard everything you're saying and I believe we both want the same thing. However, we do need to talk to Nick Aldis about this, but let's make it official right now at SummerSlam, the WWE champion. And then he kind of pauses and he said, if I had my way, we wouldn't be waiting till SummerSlam. We would be doing it tonight. And then the Bloodlines surround Cody. He's cornered. He cannot go anywhere. Cody goes for a punch on Solo. He turns around, he hits one of the Tongans. He hits the other Tongan. He hits Jacob Fatu. He then grabs Solo ready for a crossroads, but before he has chance to even go, we know he's 4-on-1. Jacob Fatu comes in and super kicks Cody, doesn't give him chance to even hit that crossroads to Solo. Randy Orton's music hits. Randy is coming down. He told Cody earlier that night if he was faced in a situation where the Bloodline were destroying him, he would be there to cover his back, and he kept his promise. He takes out the Tongans from the bottom of the ramp, and then he jumps in and takes out Jacob Fatu. He then hits a Vintage Orton to Solo Sikoa. We love that. I love shouting Vintage Orton. It just sounds amazing. But Randy is then helping Cody get up and not watching his back. Jacob Fatu gets up. Jacob Fatu takes out Randy. And then the Tongans are back in and they're punching Randy. Go, go, go. Fatu goes over the ropes to land on Randy then. We've got Solo and Jacob Fatu jumps back up in the ring. They're getting Cody's arms wrapped in the ropes so that he can't move. He's literally arms tied in the ropes, legs dangling off the side of the apron. He can't move. And then we've got the Tongans taking out Randy ringside. Randy manages to get up, but the Tongans grab the steel chairs, slam them back into Randy. I literally felt that as I did it. Slammed them back into Randy. He's out for the count again. And then Jacob Fatu hits a super kick to Orton. He then hits another super kick to Orton. And it's like, sure, why not? Let's go for the hat trick. A third super kick to Orton. Orton is done. He's on the floor. He's out for the count. We've got refs all around them trying to break it up, but it's not happening. We then have the Tongans pick up Randy and they put him on Jacob Fatu's shoulders like they did Paul Heyman. Randy straight through the announce table from Jacob Fatu, exactly the same as Paul Heyman. Randy's done. He's out for the count. He's gone. Then we turn back to Cody trapped in the ropes with Solo Sikoa. Solo hits that Samoan spike to Cody, and that's it. They leave him dangling in the ropes. So then all the Bloodline stand in front of Cody. They're doing their one. Jacob Fatu puts the beads, the red bead necklace on Solo again. They do the ones. That's it. Smackdown ends. So yeah. It was a pretty good episode of Smackdown. I really enjoyed all the matches and all the backstage stuff that happened. However, I did feel like that Bloodline segment at the end was a bit repetitive again. But as I was speaking to Courtney earlier about it, we were saying the repetitiveness sometimes needs to happen for a good ending. It's leading somewhere. Something good is going to happen. So even if there is that bit of repetitiveness between the Bloodline and Cody and Randy, we know we're going to get some good matches, some good endings from it. And it's going to be fabulous. But yeah, that was this week's Smackdown review. Leave your thoughts and comments in the comments below. Let us know what you thought of SmackDown, which was your favourite match from tonight, what matches would you like to see going forward from things that happened tonight. But yeah, I'm super excited for the build up to SummerSlam. It's going to be a good SummerSlam. They did release the poster for SummerSlam with the Bloodline on and it looks fabulous. I will insert a picture here of that poster. But yeah, that's everything from me this week. Before we go, do remember to hit the follow button, subscribe, turn on notifications, like, comment. Go follow Outcasted OC on TikTok, Instagram and X/Twitter. All the links will be down in the description below. We post clips over there and other stuff. We will have a Raw review coming from Courtney on Tuesday, an NXT review coming from Reese on Wednesday, and our podcast next Thursday at 8 PM UK time will be a WWE versus TNA pay-per-view building. So we are going to build a TNA versus WWE pay-per-view, which will be really cool, really fun. I'm really excited to do that. So yeah, that's everything from me this week, guys. Catch you in the next one. Bye!